Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pheno Field in Milford for state tournament action. It's Ashland Legion Baseball, post 77 on HCAM television in Hopkinton, as well as WACA-TV in Ashland. Tom Nappy, Larry Sacklad on the call, Connor Donovan on camera for what should be a great matchup between Post 77 and Braintree, the two undefeated teams left in the tournament. Both these teams are 2-0 in state tournament play. Braintree is 17-6 overall. Ashland also 17-6 overall. As right now the lineups are being introduced, this is the only winner's bracket matchup left, and the winner of this game will be back here at Pheno Field tomorrow night, and depending on who wins this game, it'll determine who the opponent will be tomorrow night as well, as both teams will now get towards the middle of the field and hear the Legion pledge as well as the national anthem. Let's tune in to the public address announcer here at Pheno Field in Milford.
Sound soul, clean mind, and a healthy body. If everyone would please rise and remove their cap and face, the flag will play the national anthem.
And there is the national anthem. We are just about ready for baseball between Ashland Post 77 and Braintree Post 86. Ashland and Braintree are two of the four teams left standing in the American Legion Baseball Tournament. The other two include Milford and Shrewsbury. Milford took down Northampton today to stay alive and advance to play another day, and Shrewsbury was able to take down Newton, eliminating them from the tournament, as Shrewsbury advances to play tomorrow as well. Who will play when? Well, that is to be found out. One thing we can tell you is Milford will be playing at 4:30 against an opponent to be determined, of course, based on this game. Let's take a look at the lineups. We'll start off with the away team, Braintree, and they are going to have Billy Sylvia, the right fielder, leading off, Alex Kennedy, the catcher, batting second, Sean Casey, the DH, batting third, Joe Vanelli, the first baseman, hitting cleanup, Cole Flannery, the left fielder, batting fifth, Steve Burns, the second baseman, batting sixth, Nolan Freeman, the third baseman, batting seventh, Justin Adams, the shortstop, batting eighth, Jackson Duffy, the center fielder, batting ninth, and the pitcher is John Teller. As for the Ashland Diamond, let's take a look at Post 77's defense. Sean Babineau is today's pitcher. Sean Jouett behind home plate. Zach Pessin at first base. Ronan Bates, the second baseman. Jackson Horning, the shortstop. Lewis Rossi at third base. From left to right, Jake Obid, Brad Seymour, and Ben Thomas for Game 3 for Post 77 of the state tournament, hoping for similar success as they have had the first two nights here at Pheno Field. Tom Nappy, Larry Sacklad on today's broadcast. Connor Donovan on camera. You are tuned in to Ashland Legion Baseball on WACA-TV in Ashland and HCAM Television in Hopkinton as I bring in my broadcast partner, Larry Sacklad. Larry, Ashland, they got a night off yesterday, as did everyone else in the state tournament due to just a rain out. How much do you think that helps this post-77 pitching rotation?
Well, Sean Babineau, who's been on a pitch count all this year, but did pitch 91 pitches against Andover last Wednesday, is fully rested. He's their number one. Everybody would admit that. He works quickly. He gets into a rhythm. He's got a tremendous pickoff move if you've been watching Ashland Legion baseball all year. And I say if he gets into a groove, he's going to be a tough customer. I'm anxious to see Braintree. I've not scouted them, but they have a feeder system from the high school where they've been in the Elite Eight high school tournament for the last 2 out of 3 years. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
It should certainly be, as Braintree defeated Shrewsbury and Northampton to get to the 2-0 mark and stay in the winner's bracket in the state tournament. As the first pitch to the right fielder, Billy Sylvia, is just slightly outside, 1-0. Babineau delivers the second pitch of the game, and that one is low, 2-0 to the right fielder. Babineau has not pitched for Post 77 in a while, but of course he is pitching for another team as well throughout the summer. So he has had his fair share of experience, but it is a 3-0 count to start things off to the right fielder. Weather tonight starting to look a whole lot nicer than it did throughout much of the day as the sun starts to come out, as there is a strike from Babineau. The HCAM Weather Center reading at 60 degrees here at Pheno Field, with a small to no chance of precipitation as a swinging strike there fills up the count, and Babineau has battled back. A nice cool night here at Pheno Field. Heat certainly not an issue tonight, as Sylvia will draw the walk. That pitch low and inside, so a leadoff walk to the right fielder. That'll bring up Alex Kennedy, the catcher.
Number 6, Alex Kennedy.
Post 77 defeated Somerset on Saturday, July 22nd, 16-2, and Newton on July 23rd, Sunday, 10-8. And what was a miraculous game, a whole lot of fun to watch. Babineau deals. Runner leading slightly off of first. That pitch outside, 1-0.
Well,
and Larry, you mentioned Babineau's pickoff move. That's certainly something we'll be looking for tonight.
they maybe have scouted him or talked to another coach about him.
As that is fouled off up the left side.
He should be, in any event, able to keep that run game to a bare minimum. I'm trying to keep track of how quickly he's throwing from the time he gets the ball back from the catcher. I bet you it's under 10 seconds.
1-1 to Kennedy. And the winner of this game will have an automatic bid to the state championship game. So this one is a big one. The two undefeated teams left standing in state tournament play, Braintree and Ashland. Runner leading off of first. Babineau already checked in once. That one's fouled beyond the backstop.
And I think the runner on first, Sylvia, said, ooh, that was a little close. I might not be so greedy with my lead now.
I think that's something you learn pretty quickly with Babineau on the hill. As this is hit in the air, foul territory and out of play. A 1-2 count to the catcher. One on, no outs here in the top of the first. The lights starting to come on at Vino Field as the sun begins to set. Runner leading off of first, the check in, and the runner is back safe. As soon as he saw Babineau even make the slightest motion towards first base, he was back.
It's still a close play, though.
It was. That one outside. 2-2.
And he tried to quick pitch him. But Babineau won't throw until the mound is right.
He waits the sign and deals. Nasty breaking ball there. Gets Kennedy swinging. That had some nasty movement on it, Larry.
Sure did. We see some friends here. We got Alex Reynolds, the Hopkins High School Most Valuable Player, Tri-Valley Most Valuable Player, playing for Post 59. Came down to watch the game.
There's a strike to Sean Casey, the DH. Babineau working from the stretch. Takes a look at first. Runner taking off. Babineau deals. The throw up is going to be slightly off the mark by Jouette. The runner gets the stolen base. Sylvia now at second.
You know, Sean moved his head back and forth several times there. Usually it's sort of one look and he'll throw over.
Runner leading off of second. There's a strike. 1-2. Babineau takes a look at second and now deals. Breaking ball hit back to Babineau, who will take a gander over at second. Throw to first, no problem. 1-3 goes Casey.
He's just smooth operator.
Certainly is. No panic whatsoever. Took a peek at second, threw it over to first, and didn't seem like he was under any pressure whatsoever. As Joe Vanelli, the first baseman, steps in.
And in between innings, if you're thinking about leaving your TV, you'll only take 1 or 2 warm-ups, and then just throw it down. So make your run to the refrigerator quick.
Right. As this is hit in the air to left field, and ranging over to make the catch, coming to a knee, is Jake Obid. And that one was moving around a bit up in the air, but Obid able to track it down for the third and final out of the top of the first. To the bottom of the inning we go. We are scoreless between Ashland and Braintree on HCAM Television and WACA-TV. Bottom of the first inning, Post 77 coming up to the plate for their first time this evening. Let's take a look at their lineup. It'll be Jake Obid, the left fielder, starting things off. Ronan Bates, the second baseman, batting second. Jackson Horning, the shortstop, batting third. Ben Thomas, the right fielder, hitting cleanup. Zach Pesson, the first baseman, batting fifth. Lewis Rossi, the third baseman, batting sixth. Tom Onsi, the DH, batting seventh. Sean Jouette, the catcher, batting eighth. And Brad Seymour, the center fielder, rounding out the order. We'll take a look at the Post 86 diamond. It is John Teller on the mound, Alex Kennedy, the catcher, Joe Vanelli at first base, Steve Burns at second base, Justin Adams, the shortstop, Nolan Freeman at third base. From left to right, it is Cole Flannery, Jackson Duffy, and Billy Sylvia for Braintree Post 86. And the first pitch to Obid is just a little bit high, 1-0. Obid 4 for 8 in state tournament action. That one outside.
Here's our hero from Monday night, threw 124 pitches in an absolutely tremendous effort.
That one upstairs. That, and he contributed heavily at the plate.
Had that collision with Gately, the 200-plus pounder, draws a walk. who was 10 feet up the line receiving the throw, never had the ball, and Jake had to do his best to run into him, but he ran into a freight train. No contest there.
Yep. And a nice walk John here as Ronan Bates steps in. Jake Obid has a .450 on base percentage throughout this season. Ronan Bates takes strike one. Bates at a .215 batting average. Has struggled a bit at the plate. Was able to get a hit against Newton as the check-in on Obid, he goes back to the bag.
He's a much better hitter than 215. If he's going to break out tonight, would be a great night to do it.
Certainly would. Wind up and the pitch. Just up high.
We get a great view from a press box that beats the third base line at Ashland Middle School.
Set to deliver. Check in, runner back safe.
Not a very good move by Tellier.
Obid taking a lead once again. We know how these post-77 base runners like to get in the opposing team's head. As that one's fouled off. 1-2. As Coach Johnson always puts it, they like to create havoc on the base paths.
They're not a big team at all compared to some of the teams I've seen down here. Northampton rolled in on a bus. They needed that bus. Newton, who lost this afternoon against Shrewsbury, had two kids that were easily 230 pounds each.
Obid leading once again. That one is just outside.
Good take by Ronan.
2-2 on Bates. Ronan does have a .338 on base percentage. Has drawn 10 walks throughout the course of the season. A little bit closer there, checking in on Obid. Teller working from the stretch. He deals. Good breaking ball is going to get Bates swinging. Obid back to the bag on the throw down. He is safe. Good throw down the line by Kennedy. One away, one on. Jackson Horning to the plate.
What do you think, Tom? A little hit and run action?
It's possible.
Right side of that infield is wide open.
As Hornung will hit this one in the air towards left center, and ranging over to make the catch is Jackson Duffy for the second out. Obid stays put at first. That'll bring up Ben Thomas, the cleanup man, who has cleaned up in this state tournament. A .362 batting average overall, .493 on base percentage, and he has swung the bat well as of recent. Was able to manage a nice hit against Newton and a walk as a check-in on Obid. He was back to the bag. And also struck multiple times in the victory over Somerset.
Catcher looks like he's got a decent arm, setting up nice.
And he will put this one in a left field. That's going to get down for a hit. And it is a two-out single for Ben Thomas. Obid up to second. That'll bring up Zach Pessin, the first baseman. Pessin at a .273 mark on the season, .458 on base percentage. 11 runs scored, 4 batted in.
You got the pest waiting on in the on-deck circle, Louis Rossi, Mr. Havoc himself.
Right. He's been extremely good all around as of late. Line up and the pitch, and this is down the third base line, and that is foul. 0-1. Teller from the stretch. Both runners leading off a bit. That one upstairs, 1-1.
That was a tough one to take.
2 outs, 2 on. Looks at second and deals. There's a called strike. 1-2. Obid with a pretty big lead over at second, but Pessin will get caught swinging there for strike number 3, and that'll wrap up the first inning. We are scoreless as we will head to the top of the second. It's Ashland Legion Baseball on HCAM and WACA-TV. Top of the second inning, Babineau set to deal. That one is low to Cole Flannery, the left fielder. A 1-0 count.
Lefty-lefty matchup. 5, 6, and 7
That's
for
fouled
Braintree.
away. Set to deal. 2-1. That one's slightly high. Babineau working quickly as usual. That one low, 3-1. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Braintree. Cole Flannery, Steve Burns, and Nolan Freeman. Up the middle, right back to Babineau, who will walk it over to first base. A little flip, no problem. 1-3 for out number 1. Steve Burns will step in, the second baseman. A lot of pitchers, as we saw in the Newton game, especially the Newton pitcher who airmailed it to first. And you run that risk when you're trying to throw it over to first all the way from the mound, Larry.
Well,
Babineau did it right there. Just walk it over.
well, he did even better than that in the Andover game. He ran over with the ball, and I thought he was going to flip, and he just touched the bag ahead of the runner. Made him run a little bit. Or maybe that was his ploy.
The 0-2, up high.
Waste pitch. No intention of making that a strike.
Set to deliver. That one low.
Ashland defense looks very relaxed. They know they got their number 1 out there.
He deals. And this is hit into left field. That's going to drop down for a 1-out base hit. Burns over to first base for the first Braintree hit of the evening. That'll bring up Nolan Freeman, the third baseman. 1 out, 1 on.
Babineau's already got the death stare on that runner over there. It's one of the things he told me about before the Andover game, if he doesn't like the guy.
And this is up the middle to the shortstop, throw to second for 1, and Bates turns and will have no play to first base, but they do get the force out. 2 away.
They don't seem to be hitting the ball all that hard against Sean.
Well, it looked like kind of a half swing there by Freeman. Justin Adams will step in. Runner slightly leading off of first. Babineau deals. That one is low.
Babineau doing a little manicuring in the mound.
Runner thought about taking off, but went back to first base. Maybe trying to get a first-hand glimpse of Babineau's famous pickoff move. But Adams going to get caught looking. Runner does take off from first and gets the stolen base. 1-1. Wind up and the pitch. A nasty breaking ball there. 4 strike 2. As he Fouls it into the backstop. Whole lot of curve on that one.
We get a beautiful view of his break and pitch. He throws a tight one. He throws a slow roller. So these Braintree hitters got to be doing a little bit of guessing during today's game.
Wind up in the pitch. Fouled away. One and two. One on, two outs. Shortstop Justin Adams awaits the next pitch. Babineau looks at second and deals. Grabs the inside corner of the plate. Ball gets away from the catcher. The throw to first is in time. Sean Jouett struggled a little bit to get a good grip on the ball and get the throw over to first, but he got it there just in time, and the Braintree coaching staff not in agreement. But in any case, that is the third out of the inning. To the bottom of the second we go. We are scoreless here at Pheno Field. Bottom of the second inning, 6, 7, and 8 due up for Post 77. Lewis Rossi, Tom Otzi, and Sean Jouett to face John Teller.
The Braintree third base coach had a conversation with the first base umpire about that last play where Pedson jumped in the air and came back down on the bag on a throw from Jewett, but to no avail.
Line up in the pitch to Rossi is strike one.
Mr. Mayhem.
He has had a good tournament, that's for sure. Set to deal. There's strike two. Ashland Post 77, of course, led by head coach Derek Johnson, team manager Richard Powell. That pitch just outside. 1 and 2. Braintree led by head coach Cam Fox, managed by Cam Fox as well, as this is going to be an out for Rossi. One away. I'll bring up Tom Otzi, the DH. Otzi hitting a .381 on the season, 21 at-bats. Getting a whole lot of time in the outfield as of late. And of course, had a big start in game one of the state tournament, where Ashland beat Somerset 16-2.
I forgot about that game.
Set to deal. Up the left side, takes a hop on the grass, and by the shortstop it goes. And that was just on the lip of the grass there and got by the shortstop. An awkward hop allows Onsi to reach with one out.
I understand between the Post and Milford Park and Rec, they spent about $150,000 on that new infield, and it is haunted.
Yeah, it certainly is. Especially when it gets towards the end of the grass line.
By the lip.
Balls hit around there have just given these infielders a very hard time.
Regardless of who's playing.
Right. Sean Jouett steps in, checking at first. Runner is back safe. Jouett hitting a .263 overall, .391 on base percentage. Has scored 16, driven in 12.
I love the way he competes. Take a look at that Braintree catcher. He's moving from side to side and trying to get his pitcher to aim right where he's setting up, which is the outside corner.
Runner leading off of first. Jouett swings at a high one there, 0-2.
As you know, catchers can make a big difference.
They certainly can. I think most successful teams, they have a catcher that they can rely on, at least defensively. As this is hit up the middle, that'll drop into center field. That's a base hit. Onsi to second, Jouett to first, a one-out single.
Well, I don't know whether the Braintree coach is happy with that. The pitcher was not backing up third base. If that ball had scooted by the third baseman, Onzi would have been on third.
That one was a rope. Brad Seymour will step in.
He had a good game against Newton.
That he did.
That defensive play to get the runner that did not quite tag up. Went back to the bag, thought he had tagged, threw to Ronan Bates. He got banged out.
He also went 1 for 2 in that game with a pair of walks and a run scored. Wind up and the pitch. Called strike.
Possesses excellent speed, so third baseman is playing a little bit deep.
Both runners leading off. There's another called strike, 0-2.
Tellier is not overpowering, but he's hitting his spots.
Yeah, right now he's aiming for the outside corner of the plate, and he's hitting his mark. That one on the inside corner, fouled away.
Barring a double play here, Jake Gilbert will have a chance to step in. Tellier facing the 9-hitter and Seymour.
Wind up and the pitch. Outside, good eye by Seymour. 1-2. Post 77 would certainly love to get the top of the lineup up here with men on. Wind up and the pitch. Swinging strike, that'll get Seymour. 2 away. Jake Obid to step in.
Seymour was just able to foul tip that ball, was right in the catcher's mitt, though.
Obid hitting a .313 overall, a .450 on base percentage. Takes a breaking pitch slightly high, 1-0.
Sometimes hitters will try and take a sneak peek back and see where the catcher is setting up.
Teller deals. There's a called strike, 1-1. Well, so far this game has the makings of a pretty good pitchers matchup between John Teller and Sean Babineau. Down the third base side, picked up by the third baseman. Throw to first is going to be in time. 5-3 goes Obid, and that'll wrap up the second inning. We will head to the third. It is scoreless between Ashland and Braintree. Top of the third inning, 9-1-2 due up for Braintree. Jackson Duffy, Billy Sylvia, and Alex Kennedy to face Sean Babineau, who so far today has struck out 2, given up no runs and 1 hit. Sean Babineau throughout the season has thrown 19 1/3 for post 77 and has a 0 ERA. Delivers strike 1 there.
That was a
Strike
9-second in between pitch and catch.
He certainly works fast, that's for sure. I think most of the games that he does pitch are over in about an hour. As this is hit into right field, that'll drop down for a base hit.
So far, Sean has had the first hitter of every inning on base.
Billy Silva will step in.
He walked in the first inning, I think.
Wind up and the pitch. Breaking ball up high. Runner leading a bit off of first. Set to deliver the bunt, pulled back.
He offered.
Yep, it is a strike anyhow.
Coach Matt Anderson from Northeast Baseball Academy. Matt Anderson is here to watch some of his prospects.
Babineau checks in there, runner back safely. Burns not getting a huge lead off of, or excuse me, Duffy not getting a huge lead off of first. That is fouled away off the bunt. 1-2.
For a leadoff hitter, I'm sort of surprised he'd be laying down a bunt.
Sylvia gets the sign from his coach and steps back into the batter's box. Babineau takes a peek at first. Runner taking off. Jouett throws down, and that is going to go off the runner and roll towards third base. And the runner going to take advantage of the situation and head over to third base. And Duffy is aboard on the throw from Jouett that went off of him. And that is something you do not see a lot. It was a pretty good throw by Jouett, but just had to get that one slightly higher.
Had to have hit the runner on the hip because that ball went 90 feet plus.
It did, yeah. It took a big roll down towards third base. And Duffy showing off the wheels. So now, runner on third, no outs. 2-2. That one low. Full count now. We have not seen Babineau in a whole lot of situations with a runner on third and no outs. Up the third base side, picked up by Rossi. Throw to first. Not a problem. Runner will stay put at first.
Way to hold him. Louis Rossi.
Yeah, that was a great job by Rossi. Took a look over at Duffy, standing on the bag, and threw over. Nice fast one across the diamond, and no time for Duffy to try to advance. Alex Kennedy steps in. This is hit in the air to center field, and it is right at Seymour, who's going to throw in, but it is going to be cut off, and the first run of the game will score. Jackson Duffy comes around to score on the sacrifice RBI from Kennedy.
So that throw down to second looms large in this inning.
And that is the first run that Sean Babineau has given up all season for post 77. Sean Casey steps in and takes a strike. The DH grounded out his last time up. Babineau deals, fouled off.
Braintree will be facing 2, 3, and 4 hitters when they take the field.
Set to deliver. That one's fought off as well. 0-2 remains the count. Wind up and the pitch. That one low. Up by Jouett. 1-0 lead now for Braintree. Up the third base side, that'll get by the dive of the shortstop Jackson Hornung, and it is going to be a 2-out single. Joe Vanelli, the first baseman, will step into the batter's box.
Babineau will make sure he keeps that runner close.
Runner leading off of first. There's a strike.
Seems to be going for the outside corner, whether on a righty or lefty.
Set to deliver. Nasty breaking ball there. 0-2. That pitch slightly outside.
Good hold by Jewett, giving the umpire that extra second to raise his right arm.
Babineau looks at first and deals. Swinging strike, and that'll do it for the top half of the third. But Braintree does play to run and leads 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the inning. Bottom of the third inning, Ronan Bates set to step in. Jake Obid grounded out to end the bottom half of the second. A 1-0 deficit now for Post 77. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Ronan Bates, Jackson Horning, and Ben Thomas to face John Teller, who has given up 3 hits, yet no runs so far tonight.
Teller's up to 32 pitches. Babineau 53.
There's a strike. There's been a lot of battles tonight for Babineau. Teller deals. That one is behind Bates. 1-1.
I think he looks like the reincarnation of a right-handed Tommy John. Just picking his spots, not overpowering.
This is up the third base side, picked up by the third baseman. Throw across, no problem for Nolan Freeman. 1 away. Jackson Horning, the shortstop, to step in. Horning, a .321 batting average on the season, .413 on base percentage. 16 runs scored, 10 driven in. That one outside, 1-0. Wind up and the pitch. Up the middle, slow roller, picked up by the shortstop, throw across, and there's out number 2.
Jackson going hard all the way down the line.
Ben Thomas will step in. Post 77 could certainly use some offensive momentum. But Braintree showing that they are a very sound defensively team.
From what I understand, Braintree would have to face Milford tomorrow regardless, because you cannot play 2 opponents in the tournament. So it would be a Ashland Shrewsbury matchup.
Certainly be a very good matchup tomorrow then. Wind up and the pitch. There's a called strike. But of course, if you win here, you're guaranteed to advance to the state championship game. So you will be in that championship final game. 3-1 on the cleanup man. Teller deals. That's fouled off.
That would be a shocking surprise if Ashland made it into the championship game, given their track record of never appearing in a state tournament.
Well, with the way they have played here at Pheno, I certainly don't put anything past them. They have shown that they are very capable of advancing to that point as Thomas draws the walk. Zach Peston will step in.
Thomas has got good speed over there, as you know.
Thomas has reached both times tonight with a single and now a walk.
And Tellier doesn't have a great move. He may throw over there just to say, hey, I'm here, but
there's a strike.
Coach Johnson would love to get Ben Thomas in scoring position. 2 down.
Teller looks over at first and now is set to deliver. Up the third base side, right up the line it goes. That's a fair ball. Ben Thomas around second base, heading to third, picked up by the left fielder. Throw in is going to get by the third baseman, and it is going to be a 2-out double for Zach Pesson.
Has he been hitting the ball or what?
Good piece of hitting there. And now let's see if Lewis Rossi could take advantage of 2 in scoring position.
He could plate 2 with a base hit here.
Rossi is hitting a .325 overall, .442 on base percentage, 13 driven in, 6 runs scored. Wind up and the pitch. That is fouled off.
Oh, Tom, can I ask you a quick question here? Is that fog out in center field?
It appears to be, yeah. Yeah, some fog out there. We'll see how that impacts this game throughout the course of the night.
Nothing like the Boston Garden, Edmonton Oilers, Boston Bruins game.
That one is low. 1-1.
Fogg wants to hang around in center field, not bother the right fielder, not bother the left fielder, just hang in there.
Set to deliver. Upstairs.
Tom Onzi on deck.
Both runners leading off slightly. Teller set to deal. That one is outside.
'77's bench is urging Rossi on.
Teller from the stretch. Called strike there. That'll fill up the count on Rossi. Wind up and the pitch. Up high, he draws ball 4 and the walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tom Onsi to the plate. Onsi did reach his last time up with a single. And before Onsi steps in, we'll get a conference on the mound. And it's been a pretty sound game for Teller, but now starting to have a couple battles with these post-77 hitters.
Might be bullpen got by committee with Braintree tonight. I'm sorry. Getting a little cold up here in the booth.
Now the umpire will head out to break up the conference with Cam Fox and his pitcher, John Teller.
Coach Johnson having a little conversation with Doug Onzi. A lot of post-59 players from Milford here to scout the game.
Yeah, getting a nice glimpse of their next opponent. They got a nice win over Northampton today. 9-4 final down the first base side, picked up by the first baseman. He runs it over, steps on the bag, and despite loading the bases up, no runs score. We will head to the top of the 4th. Braintree leading Ashland 1-0. Top of the 4th inning. Babineau out there for another inning of work. Very similar pitch count for Sean Babineau and John Teller. Babineau up to 53. John Teller after the last half inning up to 52. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Braintree. Cole Flannery, the left fielder, to start things off. Babineau deals.
Ashland infield doesn't do much shifting at all. Shifting right or shifting left, depending on which side of the plate the batter's on.
Hit in the air, high in the air to center field. And having a battle with the lights is Seymour, but he makes the catch, 1 away. Steve Burns, the second baseman, has stepped in.
One of the concerns coming into this tournament is Ashland had not played a lot of games under the lights. So they can be a factor sometimes.
Wind up in the pitch. There's a strike. Yeah, there's a few locations in Zone 5 that do play at night. besides that, mostly evening games with no lights for post 77. And that one is going to drop into right center. Seymour thought that it was further back. And speaking of troubles playing under the lights, there you go. Perfect example right there, Larry.
Yeah, I think he lost that in the lights. He looked like he was camped under it.
Burns is now over at second base. And you could put him down for a double. Nolan Freeman to step in. Runner leading off of second. That one is outside. Briefly got away from Jouett. No advancement by the runner. Well, I don't know if you could have cued that any more perfect, Larry.
Well, that's why you call me Nostradamus during the regular season, right?
Babineau looks at second and deals. There's a called strike.
He wants to get in and out.
1-0 lead for Braintree already. They have a runner in scorer's position with one out. That one is going to get by Jouett. The runner will advance to third easily. A little bit wild on that one, uncharacteristically by Babineau.
That was a swing by the hitter, so
Oh, it was a strikeout. So I'm going to give that a pass ball then, in that case. Must have just dropped in the dirt right in front of Jouett.
didn't close the 5-hole up.
Pitch was a bit outside as well. Hit in the air, high in the air towards Seymour, battling the lights once again, called off, and it is handled.
No, it isn't.
Or was it handled? No.
Did they call it infield fly?
And that is going to allow a run to score. An error in the outfield.
It could have been called an infield fly, Tom.
Adams reaches and has the RBI. And Ben Thomas came in from right field, called off Seymour. And it was
He's going to appeal the second
mishandled,
base.
apparently.
No. He's going to walk that one off. Infield fly.
Wind up and the pitch to
Infield
Duffy. That's
fly.
fouled off.
Was that an infield fly?
Wind up and the pitch. Inside.
Babineau was set up for a quick inning, but a couple of miscues. Plates a run.
1-1. Up the middle, takes a hop on the grass, over to the shortstop, throw to second. They get the final out, but not before Braintree plates another run. It is 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. John Jouett steps in to start off the bottom of the fourth inning. And there is a strike. 0-1. So wild sequence of events last inning. Nolan Freeman reached on the strikeout. Justin Adams then flew out to right field, and then the ball was dropped after the catch, and the runner was able to advance and score a run for Braintree. It was Steve Burns who was able to score the run, and then Duffy flew out to center. As this is hit in the air to right field, that'll drop down for a base hit. Lead-off single for Sean Jouett.
I hope tonight's game, Tom, is not as crazy as last night's game, where we saw absolutely everything.
Bit of a crazy start right now, that's for sure.
Now the fog is spread over. to left field.
Brad Seymour will step in. The bottom of the lineup has been very good for post 77 during the state tournament.
Well, they're playing as if he may lay down a bunt. The third baseman is in on the grass.
Wind up and the pitch.
Right
That is
back
popped
here.
up. Behind the backstop it goes. Out of play. Oh, and 1 to Seymour. Teller set to deal. And Seymour puts this one on the ground. Left side, picked up by the shortstop. Throw to second for 1. To first, double play, 6-4-3.
Speedy Seymour. That was a tough turn. Braintree was able to do it. Leadoff hitter Jake Obid.
Jake Obid steps in. Wind up and the pitch. Strike 1.
Still plenty of time for Ashland. It's a 9-inning game in the state tournament.
Certainly is. That one inside, 1-1. Teller set to deal. Leg lift and the pitch. Inside, 2-1. He deals. Outside, 3-1 now.
I hope our cameraman won't get fogged out. Fog seems to be creeping in towards the infield.
Swinging strike there. That'll fill up the count on Obid.
Jake's a very emotional player. He was not happy with that swing.
That one's fought off. Teller set to deal. And that one hits Obid. Takes one for the team there. He'll head over to first base. 1 on, 2 outs. Ronan Bates to step in.
Now he's being called back.
And no, they changed it to strike 3. They're going to say, I'm not sure what the call was there. I thought it hit him.
Oh, he might get tossed.
Well, he certainly needs to
Johnson's
calm down because they really need Obid for this game. But the call changed for strike 3. Another game, more weird things happening here at the state tournament. We will head over to the top of the 5th, 2-0, Braintree leading Ashland. 5th inning, top of the order for Braintree. Billy Cillia will step in to face Sean Babineau. 2-0 lead for Braintree. And they would like to try to add on here.
Did you get the explanation on that strikeout by Obid?
I did. They're saying he leaned into the strike zone and tried to get hit intentionally. And we'll have to look at the tape for that one.
Another crazy night at Pheno Field.
That's right. That one outside. 1-1 on Sylvia. But Obid's going to need to keep his cool in this game. You're trailing by 2, and you need all the offense you can get. Still a long way to go.
The umpire looked like he was going to go after Obid, but Coach Johnson cut him off.
And there's a strikeout. Check swing for Sylvia. Couldn't hold. 1 away.
Kind of a feeble attempt at that one.
4 strikeouts in the books for Babineau. As Alex Kennedy, the catcher, will step in. Outside, 1-0.
In and out, in and out. That's how Sean Babineau works. Up, down.
That one outside as well. 2-0 on Kennedy. Fouled away.
Healthy hack at that one.
Two and one on the catcher. This is hit in the air, and that'll drop to shallow left field, but not before Jake Obed makes a nice dive at it and comes up with the catch. That was
payback.
impressive.
He likes payback, as he got last night.
Well, he got some there. That's a candidate for defensive play of the game, no doubt. Sean Casey steps in.
That may be a momentum shifter there, right there.
Very well could be. There's a strike, 0-1.
Babineau picked up Jake Obed last night during that runner's interference call. He was key. And now Jake Obed may be picking up Sean Babineau.
Yep, getting each other's backs there. That one's fouled into the backstop. 0-2.
I think it's only a matter of time before Ashland breaks it open. I just get this sixth sense about it.
Babineau deals. Strike three. Got Casey looking. Post 77 starting to get a little bit louder as they head towards the team dugout. And we will head to the bottom of the fifth. Post 77 coming up, trailing 2-0. Bottom of the fifth inning, 2, 3, and 4 due up for post 77. Ronan Bates, Jackson Horning, and Ben Thomas. This comes after Sean Babineau had a nice short inning. A well-needed short inning. They are certainly going to have to get as much out of Babineau as they can in this one. That one outside, 1-0 on Bates.
And I'll keep saying it. Ronan needs a hit like oxygen. I'll keep saying it till he puts in a charge in a one.
Another outside pitch, 2-0. Well, let's not forget John Teller. He's thrown a good amount of pitches so far in this one as well. There's a called strike, 2-1. He deals, fouled off.
Catcher will set up on the outside corner, I venture to guess, with Ronan. Probably swinging a 33-inch bat.
Time called by Bates.
See where the catcher sets up. Outside.
There's a ball. Full count now.
That was pretty close. Catcher is really helping Tellier along.
Bates takes a crack at this one. It gets by the pitcher, slow roller. He's going to beat it out, and he breaks the slump with a well-needed base hit. Jackson Horning to step in.
Partner in crime.
An inning starting single for Bates.
Was it the first leadoff hitter they've had on all day?
Nope,
Oh,
they had
Ben
Obed
Thomas.
on to start the game in the bottom of the first.
Okay.
Runner taking off from first, and he will go back. I don't know if you want to be too aggressive on the base paths yet. Try to get that first run. Checking at first, Bates slides back. Especially with one on, no outs. Teller set the deal. Called strike.
Tellier's hitting that outside corner, I'll tell you.
Line up and the pitch. There's a strike, 1-2.
It's almost like he's got a tunnel from his arm to the outside corner.
Runner leading off of first. Tellier set the deal. Outside, and that looked intentional to see if the runner would take off. 2-2.
Kennedy popped up like he was going to back pick Ronan.
Check in once again. Bates dives back.
Post 77 can just adjust. They know that pitch is going to be outside.
Hornung hits this one high in the air, right side, foul territory. The first baseman makes the catch. Bates back to the bag. 1 on, 1 out. I'll bring up Ben Thomas. He's reached both times he has hit so far on a single in the first and a walk in the third. And Post 77 would love him to reach here.
I don't know. Post 77 has been aggressive on the bases all year long.
Thomas is going to send this one slow up the middle, picked up by the second baseman, who made a great throw over, but Thomas is called safe, beats it out, shows off that speed up the line. 2 on, 1 out. A single for Thomas. That's 2 infield singles in this inning for Post 77. And now Zach Pessin will step in.
The Holliston High senior. To be, pardon me.
Both runners leading off. Teller gives a long look at second and deals. Swinging strike.
He had a base hit in this game down the third base line.
Fog starting to creep in once again towards center field. And that one is off of Pessin, and he will head over to first base. He just stood right in the batter's box, didn't move at all, and took that one for the team. Bases loaded, 1 out.
He didn't stick his wing over the strike zone.
Right. And that's the important thing there. Louis Rossi will step in.
Now this is a little unusual. Corners are in.
They're expecting maybe a bunt attempt here.
Well, Lou has been
swinging
known
away
to do
right
that.
now. And Rossi will swing away and hit that one foul, 0-1.
Tellier's racking up some pitches this inning.
Certainly is. Teller deals, the bunt pulled back. Runner is going to try to score, and he's tagged out by the catcher. Did not like that move at all. You got bases loaded, 1 out, and now it's 2 on with 2 outs. You might have just blown a rally.
Well, some coaches,
Suicide squeeze was on there, but Rossi could not get the bunt down, and Bates was just too fast down the line.
some
Had no
coaches
chance to
really
go
like
back.
that play, the suicide squeeze play. It's like daylight play there.
Thomas safe at second as he slides back.
So some coaches like the double steal. Coach Johnson likes to do that. And sometimes they have this ego thing where they want to get a suicide squeeze laid down.
Now, this is a team that doesn't make errors and is a very good defensive team. So a lot of this trickery won't work with a team like Braintree. 2-1, the check in at second. Runner slides back safe.
Tellier's got a good spin move off the back of the rubber. It's twice he's gone back there. He's got speedy Ben Thomas to deal with.
Rossi
Right back
fouls that
here.
one away.
Yep.
2-2.
Heads up, Tom.
Looks at second and deals. Outside. Full count.
Rossi struck out his last time up. Well, runners will be going on leg lift here.
Teller deals up high. That would have been a run, but Bates was tagged out heading home. But it is bases loaded. 2 outs. That'll bring up Tom Otzi.
He was up once already with the bases loaded, was he not, Tom?
He was, and he grounded out. There's a
Nice.
strike.
Nice breaking pitch.
Goes back in the third.
That was a show me curveball.
Wind up and the pitch. And Otzi gets a piece of this. That's a fair ball down the third baseline. Did he tag the runner? And no, he didn't. Pessin back to the bag, and he is safe. That is a post 77 run as Ben Thomas scores. It's 2-1.
Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff at this Fino field.
An RBI single that turns into for Otzi. Pessin to third, Rossi to second.
And here
Sean
comes
Jewett to step in.
the
Wow.
dirt dog, Sean Jewett.
What a sequence that was. We'll foul that one away.
Have we seen craziness in the last 2 nights?
Oh, we certainly have.
A busted suicide squeeze. An overrun of the bag by Pessin. Scrambles back to the bag.
Well, this inning has had its fair share of action, to say the least. It looks like there will be some warm-up action for Braintree as well. That pitch outside.
Maybe bullpen by committee for them.
Wind up in the pitch to Jewett. He hits this into center field, and it is caught for the final out of the inning. Post 77 does get one back. It is 2-1 as we head to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning, 4, 5, and 6 due up for Braintree. Joe Vanelli steps in, the first baseman. Sean Babineau back out there for another inning of work. And he is hoping for another short 1-2-3 inning as he had in the 5th. Strike one there to the first baseman.
Temperature has dropped a couple of degrees since game time, down to 58 degrees with fog rolling in again.
Feels like football season right now. That one's fouled away. 0-2 remains the count. It's very different temperatures from what it was during Ashland's first game on Saturday, as this is lined to short but caught. No problem for Hornung. He ranges to his left, makes the catch, one away. Cole Flannery, the left fielder, to step in. Babineau deals. There's a strike. Well, post 77 certainly had an interesting inning in the bottom of the 5th. That one upstairs. Bates started off with a single, and then Hornung flew out. Ben Thomas came up, hit a single. Up the middle, slow roller, picked up by Babineau. He turns, throws the first. No problem. Makes it look easy, 2 away. Steve Burns, the second baseman, to step in. Then after Thomas singled, Zach Pessin hit by a pitch. And then Louis Rossi was also able to reach after being hit. Otzi with an RBI single to score Thomas, but before that, Bates thrown out on an attempted suicide squeeze. But post 77 was able to get one back. 1-0 to Burns. That's fouled away.
If this comes down to a one-run game, I think Coach Johnson might feel a little bit haunted while he's in bed tonight.
Up the middle, picked up by the shortstop. Horning throws the first, no problem. 6-3 goes Burns, and it's another 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the sixth. To the bottom of the inning we go. Braintree 2, Ashland 1. It is state tournament Legion baseball on WACA-TV and HCAM television. Bottom of the sixth, 9-1 and 2 due up. Brad Seymour, Jake Obid, and Ronan Bates. Braintree leading 2-1. John Teller out there for another inning of work. Pitch count up to 89. Sean Babineau is up at 86. But of course, Babineau has worked 6 innings. And Teller is entering his 6th inning of work on the mound. I pitch outside, 1-0 to Seymour, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Still working that outside corner.
And works it a little bit too outside there, 2-0.
Seymour gets on. I have a feeling Johnson's going to let him loose. He's got a lot of speed.
There's a called strike.
I would crowd the plate on this kid. He's going for the outside corner.
And this is hit in the air, a shallow pop-up towards shallow right field, handled by the second baseman. 1 away. Jake Obid will step in. Obid is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk.
Made a great defensive play out in left field.
And he will get a piece of this, but it's right to the first baseman, 2 away. Ronan Bates to step in.
This is what Tellier needed, a quick inning.
Certainly is.
Sean Babineau is 36 pitches away, 37 pitches away from his cutoff.
There's a strike.
Like to keep Tellier out there a little bit longer, push him out of the game.
Wind up and the pitch, and this is up the middle, picked up by Teller, and he will flip to first, no problem. 1-3 goes Bates, 1-2-3 goes Post 77, and we will head to the top of the 7th. Braintree leading 2-1. Top of the 7th inning, 7, 8, and 9 due up for Braintree. Sean Babineau battling through to the 7th, hoping for another quick inning. That one sent foul by Freeman, 0-1.
I'm having a difficult time seeing Brad Seymour out in center field. He's sort of lost in the fog.
Yeah, good amount of fog out there now. There's a strike. And it's certainly been some interesting weather throughout the course of the week. On Saturday, it was in the high 80s, and now we're down to the high 50s. A strikeout there.
I wonder whether the hitters are having a little tough time seeing the ball coming out of that fog.
Justin Adams steps in. As this is hit in the air towards shallow right field, into foul territory it goes, and will drop just in front of Pessin, who ended up coming to a dive. I think he lost it in the lights. No harm, however, as it was in foul territory. Michael Valcenti is warming up for Braintree.
Can you see Brad Seymour in center now?
Yeah, a little bit.
I just see his shirt.
The 0-1. And
Got a called
that
strike.
is going to be a called strike, 0-2. Adams could not hold the swing.
That's okay by me, though.
Yep. Upstairs, 1-2.
Number 9 hitter Jackson on deck.
And there is strikeout number 7 for Babineau. Jackson Duffy will step in. I feel like Babineau is getting better as this game goes on. Down the first base side, and that is past Pessin. Took an awkward hop. It will be a 2-out single for Duffy.
Like I told you earlier, this infield is haunted. Crazy hops.
Billy Sylvia will step in. Well, I guess the good thing about that, it was only one pitch to Duffy. Sylvia 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. Runner leading off. Babineau deals up high.
He really only had one stressful inning. Sean Babineau.
Checking at first. Runner back safe. Runner taking off from first. Jouett will throw to second. The throw right on the money, but just a tad late. A stolen base for Duffy. That throw, though, that was perfection. Just if he got it off a millisecond sooner. Line up in the pitch. Strike called there, 2-1.
You were ready to bring him up, weren't you?
I was. I was hoping that was strike 3, but I'm a couple off. A couple more to go. There's strike 2.
Got a curveball, beautiful curveball on the outside corner. It's the first one he's thrown really tonight.
Babineau attempting to strike out the side here. Up high, full count. Looks at second and deals. Fouled off. The fog continuing to worsen out in center and now left field.
I don't know. It's maybe allergic to Ben Thomas out and right.
And this is up the middle past the dive of Bates. And that is going to allow a run to score. 3-1 Braintree as Jackson Duffy comes around from second base on the RBI. A single by Sylvia.
That error by Pessin really hurts now.
We'll bring up Alex Kennedy. Babineau looks over at first and deals. This is hit high in the air over to the third base side. Rossi makes the catch for the third and final out of the top of the 7th. But Braintree does net another run. It is 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3, 4, and 5 due up for post 77. Jackson Horning, Ben Thomas, Zach Pessin. John Tellier out there for another inning of work. And his Braintree post 86 has a 3-1 lead as we enter the bottom of this inning. Post 77 is going to need to get those bats going, but there has been some extended warm-up action in the Braintree bullpen, so I think if Tellier runs into any trouble at all, we'll likely see a relief pitcher. And now we'll have a little bit of warm-up action for post 77 as well as Dylan O'Leary will head over there. And Sean Babineau's been on a pitch count all season long due to another organization he's pitching with this summer. But we'll see if that's the case this game. I don't believe it is. I believe he wants to stay out there.
They're going to ride him to 120.
I think so.
Or if in the case of last night, if he's in the middle of a hitter when he Hits 120, they'll let him go.
That one outside. 2-1 on Horning.
You know, I might think about, I don't know what the rules are, how many pitches are a minimum we need to rest, but you always got Tom Onsi there.
3-1 pitch. Called strike.
Been getting that corner all night long.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to Onsi tonight, though. They're going to save him for tomorrow's game. And this is ripped up the left side, but right to the shortstop. Throw to first, no problem. 6-3 goes Hornung, and Ben Thomas will step in.
I was speaking to some of your colleagues on the other side of the press box. They've never seen fog at Pheno Field. I said, it must be that Ashland's here. They've never made it to the state tournament, so why not have fog?
Expect the unexpected in the Legion Baseball State Tournament. Tellier gets the sign he likes and deals. There's a called strike.
Maybe it's his delivery that causes him to throw everything on the inside to a lefty, like that one, and outside to a righty. Maybe it's just his arm slot.
Well, he's pitching a very good game so far, that's for sure. Leg lift and the pitch. That is outside. 2-1.
Now the right fielder is a little obscured by some fog.
3-1. Well, this is a good part of the lineup for Post 77 to do some damage. Called strike, full count. Tellier deals. Fouled off. Thomas and then Pessin due up. Full count pitch to Thomas. That one's fought off as well. Good battle here.
As we've seen most of the year, Ben Thomas likes to hit the gap with his speed. In that fog, he may get 3 bags.
Line up and the pitch. Breaking ball up high. Ben Thomas draws the 1-out walk. Zach Pessin will step in. I would love to see one of these Post 77 hitters hit the ball right into the fog.
Is Tellier going to get the yank?
Could be just a discussion, but let's see. His pitch count is up there.
Keep Ben Thomas close. Don't let him swipe a bag.
And right now it appears to be just a discussion. So I think he is going to stay out there for now. But any more trouble, I don't know if he'll be out there.
Bullpen's still working.
Yep. I think pretty much Coach probably seeing if he's good to throw to another hitter. But if Pessin reaches, more than likely he's coming out. Is the umpire heading to the mound to break up the conference?
It's amazing how quickly they break up when they see the man in blue.
He gave him a good amount of time there, I think. Yeah, let that bullpen get ready. Take as much time as you can.
This catcher's got a good arm. Will Coach Johnson take a risk and send Thomas?
Pitch to Pessin, up high. The winner of this game, really in the driver's seat of the state tournament, will be 3-0 and still have to lose 2. Up the third base side and foul.
Counts 1-1.
Tellier from the stretch, set to deliver the 1-1 to Besson. Called strike there.
Paint, as Dennis Eckerly would say, paint.
Thomas taking a slight lead at first. The 1-2, and that's going to hit him.
Third
2
hit.
on,
No.
1 out. And I think this is going to be the hook for Tellier.
Captain Hook comes out and was that Sparky Anderson?
They call him Captain Hook.
Yeah. So we are going to get a relief pitcher here, but you have to give John Tellier credit. What a game he pitched against this potent post-77 lineup. But hold on, did he take the ball? I don't know if you. There he goes. The handshake. Good game. And the relief pitcher will come out. We'll take a timeout. It's Ashland Legion Baseball on WACA-TV in Ashland or HCAM Television in Hopkinton. Continuing on with the bottom of the 7th, Jack Hollins, the new pitcher for Braintree post 86. And he will face a 1-out situation with 2 on. Lewis Rossi steps in. Both runners leading. Collins deals. There's a strike.
Braintree has made most of the men on base score. But Ashland has left a lot of men on base.
Line up and the pitch. That is fouled off third base side.
That's why the score is 3-1. Braintree has made the most of their opportunities, while Ashland is yet to.
0-2 now to Rossi. Collins deals. Check swing. Did he hold? Yes, he did. 1-2.
You should have asked me, the umpire. I saw it as a clear check.
The 1-2. Leg lift and the pitch. Outside. 2-2.
Yanked that way outside.
Collins deals. Breaking pitch outside. Full count.
Would Coach Johnson put a double steal on right now?
I would not if I was him, but
He's an
we
unconventional
know
guy.
Coach Johnson loves the base path trickery, so I think you got to be a little bit conservative against this team. They're too good defensively, and there's strike 3, 2 away. Tom Onsi will step in, and he painted the outside corner with that breaking ball. Collins deals. Once he gets a piece, foul ball. 0-1. Post 77, trailing 3-1 for those of you just joining us. Legion Baseball State Tournament action, that pitch outside. Tom Nappy, Larry Sacklad on the call, Connor Donovan on camera. It's a 3-1 ball game that has been filled with excitement for sure, but the Ashland Bats have not been as potent as the first 2 nights of the state tournament so far. Wind up and the pitch. High and outside. 2-1.
Sean Jewett waiting for his chance to get in the box. Should Onsi reach?
Pitch to Onsi. Outside, 3-1. 2 on, 2 outs.
Will he take a strike here or let it rip?
And that is going to get away from the catcher. Both runners will move up, but it will not matter as it is a walk anyway. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And you got Sean Jouett to the plate.
Jewett singled earlier on in the game.
Jouett had a 263 overall, 391 on base percentage. Take strike one. Well, I don't think Hollins is going to leave too many pitches in questions in this situation.
Well,
And
walk's
one.
as good as a hit right now.
Right.
Runners will be going on contact, so anything that's through will score 2.
Time called by Jouett. Jouett steps back into the batter's box and awaits the pitch. Gets a piece of that, but fouled into the backstop. 1-2.
It's almost a 100% guarantee. If he gets a hit, they'll play 2. Pessin has got a monstrous lead out there.
Collins deals. And he gets a piece of this one down the third base side. Foul. Count remains 1-2.
And I guarantee you, if Jewett gets a hit, that Ashland bench will erupt.
It certainly will.
He's got right up the middle. I mean, there's got to be 90 feet between the second baseman and the shortstop or more. He's got the whole middle to hit.
Into the backstop. Quite a battle. Jouett was just barely able to get a piece of that last pitch to stay alive. The 1-2. Swinging strike, he got him. And that is going to wrap up the 7th. To the top of the 8th we go. It's a 3-1 Braintree lead on HCAM and WACA-TV. Top of the 8th inning, a 3-1 lead for Braintree. They're going to try to add on. 3, 4, and 5 due up. Sean Babineau back on the hill for post 77, but he's at 102 pitches. Sean Casey, Joe Vanelli, Cole Flannery will be the hitters this inning. Post 77 left the bases loaded last inning for the second time tonight.
It's fouled out of play.
Actually, make that the third time tonight that they left the bases loaded. Swinging strike there. 0-2.
What number hitters do we have here?
Wind up and the pitch to the DH. Above the second baseman's head it goes, and Sean Casey is aboard with a leadoff single. That'll bring up the cleanup man, Joe Vanelli.
They haven't hit Sean Babineau hard all night.
Well, it is the 8th inning, and maybe Babineau getting a little bit tired out there. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike. He deals. Up the middle, slow roller, picked up by the shortstop, and the throw to second. They get the force out.
The way he was charging that ball, I didn't think he was going to flip to second.
Nice.
But he made sort of an awkward throw over there and was able to get the out. That's all that matters.
Yeah, nice job by Horning. Cole Flannery will step in. Fights that one off, 0-1. He deals. There's a strike. 0-2. the stretch. Just high. 1-2. One out, one on. Time called. Late time called.
Babineau may take that. Take it out on the runner at first base and pick over.
And this is hit in the air. That's going to drop into center field. And it is going to be a one-out single for Flannery. Vanelli moves up to second. That'll bring up Steve Burns, the second baseman. But before that, Sean Jouette's going to have a conversation with Babineau.
Well, Pessin will probably will he be holding the runner on or playing behind the runner? If you can get an out without throwing a pitch.
Babineau deals. There's a strike.
Pessin was right behind the runner at first.
That one up high. Babineau deals. Outside. 2-1.
He's got to be getting awful close to that 120. I'm told 114, 115.
2-2.
If he can get this hitter out, he can work to the next one.
Looks at second and deals. Up the third base side, slow roller, picked up by Rossi. Steps on the third base bag and gets the force out.
Oh, Babineau will have at least one hitter to face before he gets pulled.
2 away, Nolan Freeman to step in. Runners on first and second. Coach Johnson going to visit with Babineau first. Is he going to pull him and just have a new pitcher for this next hitter?
I'd want the new pitcher to have a clean inning if possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the ball right now. Got to leave him out there. And just some words of encouragement. Babineau will indeed stay out there to face Nolan Freeman. Freeman is 0 for 3 today, reached on a force out in the second. He also actually reached after striking out, which led to the second run of the game for Braintree. That one's fouled off, 0-1. Line up and the pitch. There's a strike.
He's at 119 pitches.
Can he get out of the inning? And that is low. Gets by Jouette briefly, but no harm done. Both runners stay put. I believe he could stay in to finish the batter, so that's, of course, what they'll allow him to do.
2 nights in a row, they're going to go over the limit.
Breaking pitch. Called a ball.
Pretty good breaking pitch, too.
2-2.
Obed 124. Babineau's at 122.
There's strike 3. He gets out of the inning. It is 3-1. Braintree leading. Post 77 coming up. Can we see some late inning miracles? Find out next as the American Legion Baseball Massachusetts State Tournament continues on WACA-TV and HCAM Television in Hopkinton. Brad Seymour stepping to the plate. 9-1-2 due up for post 77. Seymour, Obed, and Bates. Jack Hollins out there to continue his work on the mound after pitching 2/3 of last inning. In relief for the starter, John Teller, who had a great performance today. Teller went 7 and a third, gave up 1 run, 5 hits, and had 4 strikeouts. There's strike 1 to Seymour, who was struggling today, 0 for 3.
Well, Sean Babineau went 121 pitches, and there was only really 1 ball hit hard off of him.
And this is hit in the air over to right center. This could be trouble, but no, the center fielder is going to get there in time. Jackson Duffy showing off the wheels to make the catch, 1 away. Jake Obid will step in.
That 1 hard hit was through the infield, past Pessin. So hats off to Sean Babineau for an outstanding performance.
There's a strike.
For the last inning, Tom, would you use Tom Onzi?
No.
20 pitches or something?
Nope. You need
Okay.
him to start tomorrow.
Well, if he was able to throw 20 and still go tomorrow, would you do it?
No.
Okay.
I'd let him start fresh tomorrow. Is that his win or go home? He needs to be at his best. Up the middle, picked up by the shortstop. Throw to first. There it is. And with the way these bats are going, you know, it's not looking good as Ronan Bates will step in. Jack Hollins, when he came into the game, someone yelled to the mound, Jackie strikeout. And he's been the very consistent closer all season for this post-86 team. There's a called strike to Bates.
I was talking to Steve Simos today. He reminded me of something he told me 3 years ago, that every team has to have a little crafty little lefty.
And this is to short, throw to first, not a problem. A 1-2-3-8. Post 77 will be down to their final 3 outs, but first, Braintree will get another at-bat as we head to the top of the ninth. Braintree 3, Ashland 1. It is Allegiant Baseball State Tournament coverage on WACA-TV and HCAM-TV. Top of the ninth inning. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Braintree. Justin Adams, Jackson Duffy, and Billy Sylvia to face the new pitcher for post 77, Tom Onsi, who comes into the game for Sean Babineau. Babineau pitched a very good game through 8 innings, giving up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. As Onsi is set to deliver to Adams.
I think I asked you a
Low and
question last
outside,
inning.
1-0. What?
I think I asked you a question last inning. Would they bring in Tom Onsi?
You did. You did. I didn't think they would. I'm not in agreement with the decision, but
Yeah, well,
they did it. But hey, I'm not the coach.
he's got 20 pitches, I think they told me, on the other side of the press box before he's got to come out.
But then I guess the question is, who do you have faith in coming out in relief? And clearly, Onsi they have faith in. He's been very good all season long. But there's not a lot of guys that you'd like to bring out there as far as pitching. That one upstairs.
Tim Ringy available?
And I think they're saving the majority of guys for tomorrow as well, because that is a must-win game. It'll be post 77, more than likely taking on Shrewsbury for the 4:30 game.
And Shrewsbury's going to have to do it by committee tomorrow.
It's a leadoff walk to Adams. And now Jackson Duffy will step in.
Maybe we could get Sean Babineau to put on another uniform number and sneak him out there.
And that's going to hit the batter. Not a good start to the ninth.
That one stung.
Two on, no outs. Billy Sylvia stepping in.
Tom usually needs some time to get settled in. Skies are clear, though. 58 degrees.
Both runners leading. The bunt is fouled away. And I guess tomorrow we'll see if it's a good idea to bring in your starter in relief for an inning.
The Little League rules say 20 pitches. You don't have to take a day of rest.
Wind up in the pitch. Slow roller up the middle, the throw to third, and he got one. So he
Got the
gets
lead,
the force
man.
out. 1-5 force out will allow Sylvie to reach. Duffy up to second. One away with two on. Alex Kennedy, the catcher, to the plate.
So I don't know whether the hard stop is 20 and you can pitch tomorrow, or whether you can, if you hit 20, you can finish the batter. I'm not sure what the rules are down here.
Onsey deals. This is hit high in the air and out of play. 0-1.
Oh. One in no man's land. Good hustle by Sean Jewett, going as far as he could go for that ball.
Wind up in the pitch. This is hit into left field. That's going to drop down. Lead runner being waved around. He will score easily. And the runner behind him stopped at third. It's a 4-1 ball game. Kennedy advanced to second on the throw in. An RBI single. Adds some insurance for Braintree. Sean Casey will step to the plate. And we'll get a conference on the mound here.
Is he the cleanup hitter, Casey?
Third hitter in the lineup.
They're not going to give him the four-fingered salute to put him in a force situation. Some action down in the bullpen.
Onsey set to deal. Fouled away. Wind up and the pitch to Casey. Outside it goes. Gets away from Jewett. Another run's going to score. 5-1 Braintree. Billy Sylvia comes around on the wild pitch. And now another run's going to try to score. Otzi charges in and tags him out.
Jewett did not call time.
Well, I guess that situation ended the best it could have. 2 away. Kennedy tagged
Didn't
out.
have to throw a pitch to get that out.
Right. That was well needed to say the least.
Nevertheless, Ashland finds himself 4 behind.
There's a strike. 1-2. Onsey deals. Breaking pitch up high.
Like I said before, Tom Onsey needs some time to get in his groove.
Well, certainly not a pitcher you want to have out there in relief then. That one outside. And there's strike 3, gets out of the inning, but Braintree adds another pair. It is 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Post 77 down to their final 3 outs. Bottom of the 9th, Post 77 down to their final 3 outs, trailing 5-1. 3, 4, and 5 due up. Jackson Hornung, Ben Thomas, and Zach Pessin to face Jack Hollins, who has been very good in relief and is in line for the save.
Fog has seemed to calm down.
Wind up and the pitch. Outside. Some well-needed insurance by Braintree in the top of the inning as they added a pair. Hollins deals. There's a called strike.
Jackson reaches first base. You'll hear the Ashland dugout wake up.
Another strike there.
Jackson didn't like it. He's taking a little walk. Got to forget that pitch.
Well, Post 77 has left 13 runners on base today. That certainly does not help. Line up and the pitch. That's fouled away. 1-2 remains the count.
Jackson's in defense mode.
Collins deals. Inside.
It hit him.
Did that hit him? Nope. Says the umpire. 2-2.
Coach Johnson wants an explanation.
Yeah, Horning says that hit me, and the umpire does not agree.
Jackson waves off Coach Johnson.
Collins deals. Check swing. Did he hold? Yes.
Braintree
Full count.
fans really don't like that.
I thought he held.
I thought he checked.
Yep.
Braintree
Just
fans
barely,
disagree
though. It
with
was
him.
close. Full count pitch. And strike three's called. I disagree with that one. That was outside. One away.
Jackson Hornung disagrees with the man in blue.
Well, the calls aren't going your way tonight, that's for sure.
Can't change the call. There's some howling in the dugout right now.
There's been a few close ones, but that one was way outside. 1-0. Breaking ball inside. 2-0. Pitch to Thomas. There's strike one. Ben Thomas having a good day at the plate. 2 for 2 and a pair of walks and scored a run. Scored the only run today for Post 77. Full count now, 3-1 now. 3-1 pitch. And there's ball 4. 1-out walk.
Well, there won't be any base stealing here. It's got to be station to station.
First baseman, number 19, Zach
Zach
Pessin.
Pessin will step in.
Third baseman playing off the line. First baseman holding Thomas on.
That is up high.
No bullpen activity for Braintree.
Runner leading off of first. Hit in the air, high in the air to left field, and arranging over to make the catch is Flannery. 2 away. Cole Flannery gets under it.
Third baseman, number 15,
Lewis Rossi will step in. Post 77 down to their final out. 1 out away from losing the first game of this year's state tournament. That is going to be wild to get away from the catcher. Ben Thomas will advance to second.
Score stays the same here. We'll be looking at a Shrewsbury Ashland matchup tomorrow.
Yep. Yep, and an elimination game as well. Loser of that game goes home. Winner advances on. On the ground, right side, picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first, and that's going to do it. There's the final out of the game. Braintree defeats Post 77 by a final score of 5-1. Braintree scores 5 runs on 9 hits and commits 1 error, while Post 77 scores 1 run on 11 hits, leaves 13 runners on. That was the killer right there, and commits 2 errors. The winning pitcher is John Tellier. The losing pitcher, Sean Babineau. The save goes to Jack Collins. Braintree improves to 3-0 in the state tournament and moves on to the winner's bracket. They will battle Milford more than likely tomorrow night at 7:30. Ashland is set to take on Shrewsbury at 4:30 right here at Vino Field. For Connor Donovan on camera, my broadcast partner Larry Sacklad, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching coverage of Ashland Legion Baseball on WACA-TV in Ashland or HCAM Television in Hopkinton. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.